Hey everyone, Doug and PA with another video. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button on the way in. I'd really appreciate it. It shows that you support me and support this channel. This is a really sore spot for me. This thing where a woman will get married and not take her husband's last name. It caught on in the last 30 years. I think about 22% of women in the United States that get married, this is of all races, don't change their last name to the husband's last name or hyphenate. It's just craziness to me. Guys watching this video, make sure to ask a woman before you get into a serious relationship with her if she'd take her husband's last name if she got married. And if she says no, smash and dash. Don't take it seriously. Society has completely minimized what it means for a man to walk a woman down the aisle and say, to have and to hold till death do us part, and the sacrifices that man is willing to do for his wife and his family. And in my opinion, for all of that, for the protection and provision a man provides, and for a woman to not have to go through what single women have to go through by being with you as a successful, competent man, all she has to do is change her last name, and she wouldn't even do that. Guys, don't take a woman seriously who wouldn't take your last name. So I found this article by Nicole Fabian Weber. Sorry, gotta laugh. 5 reasons not to hyphenate your name after marriage. Even women are catching on to how dumb of a concept this is. So we're going to go through this article, and because she has 5 really good reasons, she can kind of map it out based upon her experience with 2 last names. So let's go into it. 5 reasons not to hyphenate your name after marriage by Nicole Fabian Weber. Before my husband slipped an engagement ring on my finger and popped the question, I knew I wasn't going to take his last name. Dude's a simp. I'm sorry. Any guy that would marry a woman that wouldn't change her last name to his is a simp. My reasoning was twofold. 1, there are no boys in my family, and 2, I just didn't like the idea of getting rid of the name I've always had. It sort of seemed like I was erasing my old self. But that's kind of what a serious relationship and a marriage is supposed to be. Both individuals are supposed to be coming together to build something new. And you want to hold on to it? I can't. Here's my thing, though. I didn't take my husband's last name, but I didn't keep mine either. I hyphenated. Although my choice not to fully take my husband's name isn't the most common route to go, by no means was my decision trailblazing. She talks about the first person to do it was in 1805. Hyphenating your last name really became a thing in the 80s and the 90s. It kind of waned a little bit in the late 90s, but feminism, blah, 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 blah. So she says, well, if I'd only known that before I spent a red tape rife day at the city courthouse in order to go from Nicole Fabian to Nicole Fabian Weber, the truth is having a hyphenated last name kind of sucks. Let's go into why. Making appointments is a nightmare. I'm sorry, who? Can you spell that? Typically, when I make an appointment anywhere, the dentist, the hair salon, a restaurant, reservation, that's what I'm met with. I've seen some crazy hyphenated last names, and these women expect you to say both of them every single time. I'm not doing it. I normally just pick one or call her by her first name. Insurance and other paperwork are the 7th circle of hell. That's correct too, because some of your insurance carriers or your bills that have one name, both names, one with a hyphen between the 2 names, one without. It's awful. She says here that she recently got a bill that was just north of $2,000 because the doctor's office assumed Fabian was her middle name and marked her down as Nicole Weber. Well, Nicole Weber doesn't have the same insurance as Nicole Fabian Weber, and so they got this big bill, and she had to make all these phone calls to get the issue corrected. Then, number 3 is the issue with the kids. A mom with a hyphenated last name often doesn't want to give her kids one too, because 1, it's a personal choice, and B, what if they want to hyphenate their names when they get married? A triple hyphenate? Yeah, this is the type of stuff that you have to think about. So many of us are stuck having different names than our children, and it's kind of a bummer. I worked with this lady in my very first job in public service, and she got divorced. and her two kids still had her father's name, their father's name, and she changed her name back to her maiden name. And when she go to the school to try and see the kids or pull them out of school, the school asks all these additional questions as to why she had a different last name than her kids. Now you can talk about, oh, that's it's not right that the school did that or whatever. But honestly, nowadays schools have to double, triple check people's identities, because if they let the child go with a different person that's not related to the child, they're on the hook. They're legally responsible. And do you want your personal decision to keep or hyphenate your last name be a barrier for you doing anything with your kids at school every single time over the phone and in person? Is it really worth that much? Number 4, most forms aren't long enough for hyphenated names. That's true. Once again, I've seen some crazy hyphenated last names. She says, Nicole Fabian Weber isn't a super long name, but I know plenty of hyphenates we're called, who wind up having their first name as an initial or on a driver's license because their last name's cut off because they're too darn long to fit. And then 5, plenty of people ignore the fact that you have a hyphenated last name, including me. Invitations, place settings, work emails, I'm always Nicole Weber as opposed to Nicole Fabian Weber. I get that writing out both my husband's last name separately is a pain in the butt. It looks weird, but my last name isn't Weber. You see that? See, guys, listen to this woman. She's married to this guy. I don't know what kind of guy he is, but she literally said my last name isn't Weber. Low level disrespect. Guys, once again, I'm going to say it again. If you meet a woman who wouldn't change her last name to yours, smash dash. You can't take these women seriously. She's not going to respect you, or she has no idea what a man is willing to put forth in a marriage for his wife. Okay? And just, I'm going to bring it back around to myself. If I see a woman who has a hyphenated last name, I pick one, or I call her by her first name. And then it really upsets me when I meet a woman that has a hyphenated last name and she makes you say both every single time. You only have 100% of time and effort in a day. And these women spend that effort in a day making people say both their last names every single time. You got to find something else to do, ladies. Come on. I'm probably going to do a couple more stories about this because, once again, hyphenated names. I was in data analysis for a couple of years doing large-scale databases, and hyphenated names mess up all your reporting. They mess up all data collection, everything that has to do with the data analysis. These women, they don't understand how much a hyphenated name can mess that whole thing up. Anyway, this is just a quick rant, a quick video. Let me know what you think about the name hyphenated thing. Do you think that women are going to keep doing this? It's going to increase over time or decrease? Guys, did you marry a woman and she hyphenated your last name? Let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.